Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I'm Teri at Holding Your Space, and this is BC Barton, Grandmother BC. I think everybody probably remembers you and George coming in together, and you've been on several times without him, well, more than that. And I want to do this on a more regular basis. We talked about that this summer, and then, well, it's only fall, so we're good. I do want to introduce BC a little bit more formally today because we were talking about your background. Um, Number one, you lived on a farm above a crystal mine, which was huge to in Arkansas, all that energy. So if anybody knows how to ground, it's BC. And you've been a healer for how many years?
I started at 25.
Oh my gosh. So about 5 years.
Yeah,
So
probably more like, I don't know.
yeah, we won't say. We won't say.
It doesn't matter.
But you've had healing centers all over the country now.
I've had two.
Two. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Arlington.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then in Richardson, further up in Texas.
Yeah. Yeah, which is huge. I mean, the things that you've done. And you were telling me about working with the colon, and I didn't realize that you'd done
Yeah.
that.
I actually did. It was a center where I worked in Mount Ida. I worked in a place off of, so that was a center. I worked there for 20 years.
Yeah.
Just think of it as that. Yeah, in the healing center I had in Dallas, Arlington area, I focused on detoxification, cleaning out the colon, hair, blood, and urine analysis, setting up which vitamins, minerals, homeopathic remedies a person needed based on those. And I also did counseling with meditation. And at that time, I was doing hands-on because people were bringing everybody, and I didn't know why they kept wanting me to put hands-on. I would do it. But
Wow.
so, and we had a colon irrigation hygienist training school.
And you'd go around the country lecturing on this as well.
Well, I spoke at herbal conferences.
Yeah.
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 3 times.
It's so far ahead of her time, you guys. Just amazing. Just amazing. And but today we're going to talk about a few more things than that, which I really love. And I want to say hi to everybody as the tribe comes in. So Lori's here. Lori Hunsinger saying good morning, Grandmother BC and 5D Tribe. Akila, hello, beautiful. This is Karen, Starseed Awakening 1111. So she's amazing. Leah, good morning. Carolina, hello. Leah is watering her flowers, which is such a perfect metaphor. So, yeah, good afternoon and good morning to everybody. So, like I said, BC used to come in with George a lot, and now George comes in all the time. We were talking about it backstage. How every morning when we're doing meditations, in comes George. And you wanted to talk a little bit about that too, about how you guys are still working together and what's going on. Yeah.
Well, when we first met, we met on the phone because I told a client something that George had told him exactly. And
Wow.
then my client said, and I told George about you, and he said, oh, BC, she works with the ascended masters in the angelic realms. Whereupon I said, I want to talk to George. So that's how it started.
That's something I didn't mention. BC also channels Saint Germain and Lady Nada, as well as many other
Whoever
ascended
wants to come
masters.
through.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we had our relationship was on Messenger, and we talked every day from the first time. And then we started meditating and on purpose doing stuff in dreams together, connected together. Um, and still on Messenger. I went to see him a few times. He came here a few times. But we developed techniques that we could stay in touch if for some reason the phone was out or something. You know what I mean? We programmed
Telepathy.
crystals. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we worked so closely together. I'm still working and teaching what I learned with him and what he learned with me. So now it's like it's taken me a while, and it's hard. I feel his presence here, but he's not here. But I finally got it. He's really, really here, and he is relying on me to do the work down here in physical form, and he's working from not in the physical body.
Wow. Yeah.
And with me always.
Yeah. We talked about that. I went on my retreat last week, and I was telling BC I'd gone through some beads that he had given me and to take with me. And they've been in my garage for a year. And I went out there to pick some out to bring with me. And I started flying. It was like the energy was so strong that I said, okay, I'm going to have to put you back for a little bit. Yeah, it's a lot. And I love that you're here, and thank you for being here again and talking to us today. And today we were talking about waking up and what everybody's going through right now and how we're ascending and kind of what that looks like and what we might expect, I guess, or better ways. I'm going to say not better, but a good way of walking into that energy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, bottom line, awakening is being present to overcome fear and claim your power to use love as an instrument. That's basically what it is. Each one of us is a spark, a child of God. We are individualized mind and heart of God. And we've agreed to come into physical form in order to take on all the programming we take on when at the time of our birth. We take on the stuff that's going on the planet. It's why we come. And then we come down in through a baby body and we come into a family that is on different levels of being dysfunctional. And so there's that patterning and programming. And then the body carries issues, unresolved issues from genetic lineage. And then that we are here to solve. And then we have to make choices, and we begin to make choices until we awaken based on the ego stuff, based on the fear, giving for gain, being a victim, blaming somebody else. You know, that's our programming. That's how we're taught to survive. The other programming, which is already with us, is about recognizing that we are powerful. We are individual beings of light. We have no limitations. And I know for myself, for a long time, it worried me that would I use my power for personal gain or to try to do something that was on somebody else's plate to fix for themselves? I came to understand that as long as I was coming from love and peace and truth, I mean the feeling of it, that feeling inside of each of us that is the essence of love and peace and truth. And it's like a place that we can go to when everything out here is going yada, 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 yada. It's like, okay, we can come here. It doesn't matter. The yada, yada can happen. But this is a place that we can come at all times. And from that comes being able to look at what's going on around us from a point of observation, not getting caught up in it, but observing. Send healing if you want, see it as healed and whole, but observation or witness. It's interesting. Three influences in my life have been Jesus, the real guy, the teacher, not the and the Buddha, the first one, Gautama Buddha, and Mother Mary. Mother Mary appeared to me when I thought my little baby was going to die in the hospital.
Oh, wow.
And showed herself over his incubator in the hospital. So the Buddha means I am awake. Christ says I am present. So the Buddha overcame fear and he grounded it into the planet, grounded it so that we can draw upon it. It's there for us. It's a matter of becoming strong enough that no matter what, you don't buy into fear. And Jesus says, I am present. I use the power of love to create a healed reality. It is so important that each one of us realize that we are these powerful instruments for light and healing. We are. And it's not easy sometimes, but don't be surprised. You've already been experiencing this. When you try to connect and be yourself on a spiritual level, then all these things come up. And it's just a challenge to see if you're going to go into fear. That's it. Don't go into fear. I used to just feel love instead of fear. I would love the little girl inside of me instead of fear.
I love that. That's a great way of looking at that because it is all about love. I mean, that's really all there is, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
Universal spirit. And the programs that we receive coming into this planet, it's interesting, but it does reset everybody, doesn't it? Like when you have a growth opportunity or FGO, as we like to call them, and all of a sudden you have a reset and you have to look at things a little differently. And eventually that grief does bring us back to that love, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But that spark of God consciousness within us is what keeps us going no matter what.
Yeah. 100%. And I like to call that the high heart now. It's kind of what they showed me.
All right.
And that piece, that seed of divinity inside of all of us, that's so important in this time to connect to that.
Oh, it is what's up, really, because nobody can fix this planet and its issues but us. And there is no level of difficulty. You just have to believe. And you have to just keep using love.
Yeah.
And even beam love, you can use it. Like there's a Hindu goddess called Durga who uses love. It's like she uses love. It's like she beams. My son is retired military now, but he talked to me one time about when this happens, you light them up. He means you shoot them.
Oh,
But
wow.
I mean, light them up.
Yeah.
Really, you can actually use a beam.
I never thought about that. We think about beams and swords to use for cutting cords and old modes of knowing, but using a beam for love.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, that's a new thing, you guys. Let's use that. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody's talking here. Hi, everybody. Lori says, I understand why standing on the ground is so important. Thankful for all the information about what Buddha left for us. Yeah.
Does anybody want to hear what he did?
Yes, we want to hear. We
Okay.
definitely want to hear.
He was a young prince, and he was just beautiful. And his father vowed that he would never know suffering or pain. And somehow he went out of the complex with a servant or something. And outside this place that was like heaven in his life, there was this horrible, horrible, like a slums where people were suffering and nobody was caring, and it was horrible. And he inside of him, that spark went, I'm going to put a stop to this. I'm going to fix this. And it all developed on his journeys. He traveled all around the known area at the time. And he kept getting confronted by demons. And so one day it was hard. So one day he was sitting, the story is, under a banyan tree by the river. And he's meditating, and he's in deep meditation. He is truly present. And as he's doing that, this whole army of demons rose up out of the water and started towards him. And he was observing. He said, "You're not real." And they dissolved. But it takes that. It takes overcoming fear enough to see what is illusion and not buying into it. And at the time, that's what he did. He grounded that. There is no fear. It's all an illusion. Buy into it or not.
Yeah. I love that he was under the tree too, because that tree, the root system, and starting from a seed, and the strength of it, and grounding. It's huge.
Yes.
Metaphor. Yeah. Yeah. It is all about illusions, isn't it?
Yeah, we create it.
Yeah.
We're creating from our ego self. Even the churches. I mean, there's truth in there. And then it gets to where there's so much ego that it's about fear and punishment and vengeance, and but that's changing too.
Yeah. Yeah. My mom always said that the Vatican has all this information and so much more in their vaults, but they've always felt like, well, I don't know what they've always felt like, but her premise was that they didn't think that the average person on the street would be able to handle it. like knowing about reincarnation, knowing about galactics or extraterrestrials, all sorts of things that have happened. Yeah. And I always thought, I still think that once they open their vaults, we're going to get some wonderful information.
Mhm.
Yeah. But we'll probably already know it because we'll be in that energy, won't we?
Yeah, we get it anyway. They can't keep it from us.
Yeah. That's the truth. That's the truth. So talking about being present and how we can do that, or however you want to talk about it, but what that means.
Being present means that you have let go of your human ideas and you are just present as consciousness and as wisdom. I do it when I work. It's like I come present. I do a meditation, not a very long one, where I just remind myself coming present, and I do it with the other person. And from that point, it's like staying in that. I've gotten really good. I don't buy into fear or take on people's stuff anymore. But working from that place is incredible. So that place of being present is, I asked Jesus one time, what is this I am stuff all about? It was like 50 years ago. I asked him. He said, I am is the voice that says I am inside of me, inside of you, and inside of every human being on this planet.
Yeah. I am. Right? Yeah. It's primordial, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, it can't change.
Yeah.
So I use coming present, and if you like, I would do a little meditation with you to show you.
I think we would all love that. I just wanted to note, hi, Sonia and Gina. Lori says, I need this information so deeply today. My fear about my daughter's health has my nervous system on overdrive. I have had a knowing that grandmother would have my solution today. Calm is happening. That's
Oh,
so beautiful, Lori. Yeah. Yeah. We would love that. So,
all right. And can we come back and address Laurie then?
yeah,
All right.
definitely.
So here we go. So everybody take a few deep breaths. Presence of Christ Buddha consciousness. I'm aware that I am a beam of light sourced in the great central heart of Most High God, projected as per my agreement down through this physical form and seated into the planet in a chakra about 150 feet beneath my feet. It is the example of pure matter. It is the example of purified matter, purified spiritualized matter, which is what we're here to do in our bodies if we stay during our ascension. So it's a center. It looks like liquid black gold.
Mm-hmm.
Feel that ray beaming down into there. Now feel that coming back up. It's like beautiful, dark, rich, golden, whole way up through the body to the chakra about 150 feet above our head. And that chakra I call high self or Christ Buddha chakra, the spark. That's who we really are. And remember that connection. And now feel the flow back and forth between where the high self and the earth Christ chakra. The earth Christ chakra is the essence of you awakened and fully present in physical. Back and forth. There you go, filling up your body. And now breathing, recognize that the entire energy field which you are in individually and we are in collectively, is vibrating at the speed of love, which is speed of light, wisdom, truth. I am. And as you breathe, recognize that the outermost surface of your energy field has coalesced to form a golden white mirror of Christ light consciousness. Nothing less than that vibration can enter your space. Nothing less than that vibration will leave your space. And I just remind myself of that. I feel the ray and the connection and all of the energy of it. And for me, I say, presence of Christ. I had one client who told me, she says, I am here. So whatever words work. It's just a reminder. And this is there all the time. It's not just something that we have to create. It's just remembering and falling into it.
Wow. Anybody else?
So the whole purpose of being here is to become what Jesus became, what Buddha became. In my words, I say, be the Christ, abide as Christ. And know that that's our birthright. We're here to heal. The healing has to take place through us. And there are so many, all the time, more and more. I see from afar the lights coming on and the connection with the lights coming on. That's people awakening, claiming their power. It's happening.
It's changing the timelines on the planet, isn't it? It's speeding up our ascension.
The only reason for time is for us to learn lessons.
Yeah.
And the holy instant, that's too present in the holy instant, all else is aside. And that holy instant is truth. In that holy instant, miracles happen.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. Brenda says, I felt a big energy jerk in my body once. Yeah. And I think when we're letting go of those constructs and that stuff that's kind of set inside our physical form, that I get that too, Brenda, that I'll get a shake. And I know that that's old stuff releasing. Hi, Sandra. Judy's here. A lot of people coming in. So everybody loves this so much. You had to shake your hands, Lori. Yeah. That's so healing. That's beautiful.
I'm present. If that didn't resonate for you, ask. Show me how to come present. You'll learn. You will. Because that's why we're here.
Yeah. So often I think, especially when we talk about being present and not with this group, because you guys know it, but a lot of people feel like being present is being in the here, like you're watching what's going on, but it's more, isn't it? It's witnessing.
It is.
Yeah. It's awareness. Which is a more subtle sense than just being watching or seeing what's happening at the moment. It's so much bigger. Yeah. Leah's saying, can I ask why I'm buzzing all over?
George would say, Tula, Tula, Tula. Tula, Tula, Tula.
Tula.
Tula, Tula. Come bring it into balance.
Yeah. Balance, balance, balance. I love
And just
that.
breathe. There you go.
Yeah. Paul feels the power.
Oh,
Yeah. It is a powerful distinction, isn't it? Because a lot of people think I guess attention, that was the word I was looking for. They think that you're being attentive to what's happening, but it's that witnessing awareness. Um, and that is love, really, isn't it?
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, so claiming our power. Um, I love that idea of walking through with a beam of light, a beam of love.
Yes.
Yeah.
Um, claiming love as our power. That's the only real power we have. That means that whatever it is that comes into our reality that is frightening or fearful, or we feel angry or vengeful, we can actually, without suppressing that, start to feel love, even if you have to make it up at first, but start to feel love. Sometimes when we're awakening, a lot of old memories from the past, people who've done things to us and we think we've done to them, or horrible things, and we just carry that around. And the important thing is to learn to forgive that, and to forgive that by realizing that it's illusion, that it's illusion. That was hard for me to get because I grew up with a mother who was mentally ill, and um, and there were some horrible things. She got Alzheimer's and asked me to forgive her before she died. It was so beautiful. I had been praying for that. It felt like that experience of feeling the energy of the world is healed. It felt like that level of that for her. And it just, even then, has taken me some time until just now that I can let go of the bitterness of it. And I really believe that to the degree that we're carrying around bitterness or shame or fear, to that degree our light is dimmed. We are powerful lights. And
Yeah.
we create, and in other times we created universes.
Whoa. Love that. I love that. Standing in our power, you're right. Because we're part of creator. So any which way you want to work that, right? If, you know,
We're individualized minds and hearts of God. We are in human form.
yeah. Yeah. Sonia, your mom said, I love you before she passed. That's
Yes, she
beautiful.
did. That was her last words.
Yeah. Right, Judy? Letting go of a dark attachment. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is that shadow stuff and the shame. Um, I feel like, the media has brought a lot of shame to light. Um, and it's interesting because I think you either get scared of it. Well, first we might all get scared of it a little bit, what's happening, right? And that's okay to feel that. And then we give it love. And if you can just kind of watch it happen and be aware of it with
Yeah.
awareness instead of
I,
getting attached.
I want to tell you, I had an experience one time. I was about 28 and I was working in a sewing factory. And I was into quality control, getting it done, the most. And I was running up everybody's piece rate. So one of the inspectors kept throwing all my stuff back on my table, so it would slow me down. So, and she would glare at me, and um, and she would stare at me in the lunchroom. So I was reading this book by they're in Dumont. It was way out of like 1932. And he talked about your power with people. And he said, if someone is being negative with you, just send them love and see what happens. So we're in the break room and she's at the coffee machine and I'm mad at her anyway. So I go in my head, I love you, ugly. and she went, and then I went, hey. And I went, I love you. I love you. And she started waiting for me at the end of her row to go to lunch with me every day.
Oh,
But that's the power of love.
it really is, isn't it? And as a mom, you know, it's interesting, or a parent of a cat or friend or whatever. Sometimes we look at our loved ones and we see what's wrong with them so we can help them, we think, right? You know, I'm going to fix you.
Yep.
But really, when we see their light, it changes the whole relationship.
Yeah.
And I guess that's even with people that are going through dark times, whether that's because of politics or because of a situation in their life, you know, that a choice, perhaps. But yeah. Yeah. Somebody was talking a while back about how a lot of tribes, indigenous tribes, after you created what was called a crime, they wouldn't turn their back on you. They would all turn love on you.
Wow.
And surround you. And what can we do to help this? You know, and I think it's such a beautiful thing if we can do that. So claiming our power. I think you hit that on the nail, being a creator.
Well, I want to show you what you can do.
Oh, good. Yes,
You can
please.
use, I use this crystal. It's clean. But you can come present as true self. Yeah, okay. You can come present, take a deep breath, come present. And now use your presence breath to blow through that crystal. And you can feel it. It's love that's coming out. And you're clearing the crystal.
Yeah. Wow. It's that'll get you going, won't it? I mean, I think if you have a headache or something, this would clear it immediately. Yeah. Yeah. This is I just want to point out this is from Juno. I got that at her last sale. One of our tribe is doing some sales and bringing in beautiful things. And I've also got this beautiful crystal from George here.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, so sweet.
The channeler's crystal. Yeah.
With the smoky in there.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. 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 That was a confirmation beat, right, Sonia? Well, that's good to know. I like that because we talk about cleansing crystals with salts or burying them or doing different things with them, but that's far more effective, I think.
It really is.
Yeah. Easy is usually far more effective, isn't it?
Yes. And you can even test them with a pendulum before and after.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. Oh, Judy, you got one of the hats. I just ordered one of those hats as a gift for somebody who has a birthday today. As a matter of fact, if you guys stop by Allie's channel. Anyway, so we were talking about forgiveness and the importance of forgiveness. And it feels like there are some people in my life that lately I'm finding new ways to forgive because because little bits and pieces. And I think a lot of us talk about that we get little bits and pieces that kind of roll in, aspects that we didn't know we were still hanging on to.
And really, it's important that we recognize that that person didn't create that by himself. We were helping.
Yeah.
So forgiving ourselves, I've often found forgiving myself makes it easier for me to forgive the other person, almost like it's gone now. It's erased. It didn't happen.
It does, doesn't it? Because oftentimes that other person that affected you probably for years, they don't remember it. They're unaware of it. They let it go a long time ago.
Yeah.
We're the only ones carrying it.
Yeah. But forgiving ourselves. And you don't have to sit and make a list, although if that's what you do, then that's fine. But just know that Spirit's going to show you, oh, I need forgiveness here.
Yeah. Yeah. Teelin says her mother had been medically unconscious for over a week, opened her eyes and told me she loved me. Voice sounded much different.
Oh, that's so wonderful.
How healing.
Oh.
Yeah. Judy says something came over me in meditation, like send love to 45. And you were like, okay, right?
Absolutely. I do it all the time. I see the Christ in him.
Yeah.
And I see him acting out a role. That's what we do as egos. We're acting out roles. We're taking on, well, I'm going to take on this and I'll act like that. And we don't realize that that's what we're doing. And I just sometimes I don't necessarily connect fully with the light within him, but I keep sending him light and love.
Yeah, like he's an actor playing a part in a film or a play, and he's playing it with abandon. I mean, he has no scruples about how he's playing it.
No. But
Anyway,
that's how he's going to learn.
yeah, I guess so. He's going to learn a lot. And then overcoming fear. We talked about too. You guys, I wish we would have recorded this. Another whole show happened before y'all came on. We were in the studio talking, but overcoming fear. So walking in our light. I guess we could do the visualization of the earth chakra of gold and the sky chakra of gold to overcome fear. That's certainly helping. I feel like there's so much fear around the planet right now, too.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's one reason why I really haven't figured out how Georgia and I can travel together now. But I will. And like we used to just travel, and he wanted to go to children's hospitals because he had so much medical stuff when he was a child. And so we would do that. And he would do what he does, and I would do what I do. And then we would go to Washington, D.C. and the Capitol. And I would I would touch the Christ consciousness of all the senators and everybody there and see it streaming out to the governors. And then we'd go to Ukraine, Russia, Israel, and Hamas hadn't started yet. And that was such a learning experience. Learning to work with love instead of trying to fight. because that's what they want. The minute we go into fight mode, we've given them our power. The moment we go into fear mode, we've given them our power. That's what they want. They feed on fear.
Yeah. And there's never been such a divisive time, I think, as 2016, 2015 really brought that energy into the US like it hadn't been before, maybe since the Civil War or something. And it was kind of a thing where we were cousin against cousin and sometimes brother against sister or whatever. But it was such a divisive time that we hadn't had. And media played such an important part of it, didn't it? Yeah, it was, and it was just a program.
Well, it's whatever sells for the media.
Yeah. Yeah, it sure is, man. Oh, you scanned pictures and did a digital frame to play continuously. That's a beautiful way to handle that, T. Lynn. I love that. Yeah. Judy says only two choices, fear or love.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Ego or I am self.
Yeah. So, this is weird. I don't know where this came from, but something about prison is on here. Did we talk about prison and guides?
Prison? Prison?
Yes, prison. I don't know where that came from, but
I don't
I'm
know.
glad that it.
I did prison work. I don't know if it's.
Oh, okay. Can you tell us about that? And because I have no idea where that came from, but it just I wrote it.
Well, it started out when I was in chiropractic college. I found out about this man who was framed and sent to prison for 99 years. And for some reason, I just, inside of me, well, that's going to stop. So I went there to the prison, and the, what do you call the head guy, the warden, talked to me and let me in. And I have a minister's license too. And I talked with him, and he was a bright spirit. And then I met other people, people who had come out of prison, who, when I asked them, had a vision for what they would want to see wonderful in the world. And eventually I became involved with prison reform. And at one point, the organization I was with, People United for Justice for Prisoners, caused Supreme Court investigation of the Texas prison system.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and at Little Rock, the Buddhist Ecumenical Society has a prison outreach, and they're allowed to go into the prisons and teach meditation. And I gave them some of George's books for their library, for the prison library.
Wow. That's amazing. That's huge, isn't it? Because that's something that is kind of a dark cloud on society or on the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Judgment. I mean, that's really hard. Yeah. Wow. Well, I think we were going to talk to Lori too about what she had said earlier.
Lori, where are you again? There she is.
Yeah.
So I totally understand about fear about the health of your daughter. One thing that helped me is to remember that bright spirit, connect with that bright spirit. and see them as healed and whole and glowing, and let go of the fear. You use whatever words you want. I see you as healed and whole. And see that. And no matter what comes, it's going to be healed and whole. You are more connected to your daughter than anybody else. And so you have the power to remember her and to see her as healed and whole. There were points in my life where one son, who was a little trickster, I gave him to Jesus one time, and then I was afraid because I thought he was going to die. Gave him to Jesus, but he came out of everything. I just had to stop worrying, holding him healed and whole, knowing that he had his guidance with him. And I just totally get it, Lori, when a child is so ill. I send you my love. Hold her as healed and whole. I will too. What is her name?
Lisa.
Lisa? All right. I'll hold Lisa too. As healed and whole.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, amazing. That's beautiful. And it does make such a difference at how we see people. And the interesting thing is, and I think everybody here does it, is when we're walking down the street and seeing someone's light. And especially little kids recognize that, and animals recognize that, don't they? When you see their light, it changes everything. Oh, Lori says, wow. While saying those words about Lisa, a cool breeze started blowing across me. Thank you. So be it.
You're so welcome.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful, beautiful. So what's next that you see coming in?
Well, I think that we each need to realize and maybe connect on purpose, even if we think we're making it up, because we make it all up anyway. But to come present as the light that we are, and then each in our own way, see, connect with the lights that are coming on all over the planet. Let me tell you why. I was telling Teri this a long time ago, probably 72, I think I said. I was meditating and I saw, I was with a whole group of people, a crowd. We were all dressed in white. I don't know if everybody had hoods on, but I did. And we're waiting. There's a low mesa, almost like a stage, but a low mesa. And we're just waiting, anticipation. And 3 beings of gold light manifested on top of that mesa. And they didn't teach with words, but they gave each of us the experience of the healed planet. The healed planet. And we all fell to our knees, We'd been working for that. We were here for that. But the feeling of it, it's just pure ecstasy and joy, the healed planet. And then what came is the planet is healed. We will stay until everyone comes with us into the healed reality. So that's kind of what my work has been about. It's been about helping people remember who they are and claim their power wherever they are.
Wow.
And whoever they are. Because we're here. And we're all one, whether we met people or not. We're all one. And enough of us, somebody told me that we're 45%. I heard it on a talk thing, I think. Just takes getting over 50 for the shift to happen.
That's what I've heard too, that we're almost there.
Yeah.
Leah says, Teri, can I ask how we become unified?
Well, we already are unified.
We just have to remember.
It's just a matter of feeling their presence. I had an experience, an example, maybe not quite what we're talking about, but I was about to have some serious surgery on my heart, and I was trying not to go into fear, and so a friend called me up, and she didn't even know about the situation. She said, BC, you are supposed to open up and receive love from every single person you ever gave it to. Do it now.
Wow.
And it was amazing. And what I got was that it was such an honor for me to receive for them. Just as it's an honor for me to give, it was an honor for me to receive from them.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're all one. We're all the same spirit in different bodies.
Yeah. It's amazing, isn't it? And once we get into that energy of that oneness, I mean, there's no stopping us.
Yeah.
And that's, do you think that's that in-between state, that space of Saint Germain and Lady Nada, the space of being able to manifest, being able to...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is what Saint Germain told me, that a master, and that's what ascension is about, whether you stay in your body or not, it's mastery. It's overcoming life and death. He said, a master is one who is able to access peace in the midst of chaos, no matter what's going on, access love in the midst of hatred and war, no matter what's going on, to access light in the darkest darkness. That's using your power.
Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing. And thank you so much. That is the perfect thing to say at the end here, is harnessing our power, or practicing our power. And if anybody wants to get a hold of BC, is this still your Gmail?
It is.
Oh, good. Okay. So you can contact BC for any number of things. Healings are amazing.
Or talking.
Or channeling, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And really, I've had readings from you before, and it's all of the above. So it's a full spectrum. All right, everybody. Well, that was beautiful. And we're going to, if you can, I'd love to try to do this once a month.
All right.
And get back on a routine, because I think we all love it so much when you're here. I know we do.
Thank you. I love to be with you. I feel all of you.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I love you.
Oh, lots of love. Okay, everybody. Thank you all so much for being here. It was so kind of you. And thank you, moderators, for keeping everybody safe. And if you're available, we'll see you tomorrow morning at 8:11 for meditation. So have a great afternoon.